Hello, my dear friends. Today we're talking about Zone 3, the other room. First of all, what are other rooms? Zone 3 usually happens in the third week of the month. Not always. It could be a second and a half week, like if there's just a little bit of the first of the month is just like at the end of the week. It would still be the third end of the week, backwards the week. Hope that makes sense. But the other room is anything that is not your entryway, which is Zone 1, your kitchen, which is Zone 2, your main bedroom, which is Zone 3, that's your bedroom, and bathroom and closet, or your living areas, which are Zone 5. Zone 3, did I say your bedroom was Zone 4? I hope I did. Zone 3 is any other room, a hall bathroom, a sun porch, a garage, an attic, a basement, an office, a craft room, a game room, a child's room, a guest room. It goes on and on. Music room, etc. So those are other rooms. Everyone doesn't have all of those rooms. It's very unlikely that you would be here. If you had those, you probably have full-time help if you have a big mansion. But you might have one or two or three of those, maybe four. Maybe you've got an attic, a basement, a garage, and a guest room. Okay, those would all, and a hall bath. Oh, you got 5. So those are the rooms we clean in Zone 3. And we clean them for 1 hour on Saturday if we're payroll, or for 15 minutes, 4 days a week if we are at-home homemakers. 15 minutes a week, 15 minutes a day, 4 times a week, or 1 hour once a week. We're going to declutter, which means we're getting rid of all the trash, all the things we want to give away, and we're putting away all the things that shouldn't be in these spaces. There has to be room for it. That's the number one requirement of keeping something. You have to have room for it. But not just because you have room. If you have a lot of storage space, you can keep everything. But is that realistic? Because these years are going to build up and you're going to have lots of stuff. The things you keep, you need to have some of these requirements. You need to either love it, need it, want it, and or use it. Those are some of the reasons to keep it, but the main reason, or the extra reason that is the dinger, is you have to have room for it. So there's 5 things. Love it, need it, want it, use it, and have room for it, and that's the main requirement. So if you love it, and you need it, and you want it, and you use it, well, more than likely you're going to keep that and you'll find room for it. But if you have something that you don't really love, you need it sort of, you use it occasionally, so you don't love it, you need it and use it occasionally, and you don't even want it, why don't you give that thing away? Because you're gonna make room for something that you hardly ever use. Does that make sense? Okay, that's not the only scenario, but you get what I'm saying. So we're going to do those things in our room. We're going to declutter by throwing away the trash. We're going to give away the things that we don't love, need, use, want, and have room for, and that are still good, and that you personally would buy at a thrift shop, for example. And then we're going to find the things we do love, need, want, use, and have room for, or at least some of those requirements and have room for. We're going to have a place for those. And to be organized, you need to put like things together. So sports equipment, which can be subdivided, children's sports equipment, husband's sports equipment, my sports equipment, or snow skiing equipment, bowling equipment, outdoor activity equipment, and baseball, whatever, and so those are going to be all together, but in their own like subdivisions. Does that make sense? That's an example of keeping things and organizing things that you want. Okay, so that's the other room, and that's decluttering. But now I want to talk to you about why we have other rooms. Some people have other rooms because they need a place to store their junk. Maybe they don't have a garage, and they don't have a shed, and they don't have an attic, and they don't have a basement, or they do and they're full to the brim, and so they have this other room where they store their husband's tools, or they store all their camping equipment, or they store all the kids' toys. And that doesn't really make sense, does it? How much does your house cost right now on Zillow per square foot? That's how much it's costing you to store that stuff per square foot. That is not a very good investment, when really that should be, and I know you've thought of often having that as a X room, a guest room, a game room, a toy room. Could be a toy room, a child's toy room, but not a crazy storage dump toy room, right? An art room, an office, a craft room, etc. And maybe it is a craft room, but it's not really a usable craft room, because when you open the door, it's all tumbling around and you can't even think to create in there. So why do you have the other room? So you have to determine what that's for. When you bought the house, did you say, oh, good, a dump room, where when people are coming over, I can just grab all the stuff and throw it in there and never think about it again, and then one day go through it and say, oh, I wondered where these pants went. I don't even fit in them anymore. Or they've been stored away so long they're totally out of date. Or these shoes were so cute, but they've been crushed for so long under all this stuff, they're ruined, right? So that's what you want to think about. What do I want this room for? What makes sense? What would be ideal? Would this make a good nursery? Maybe you don't have children yet. Would this make a good nursery? Would this make a good whatever? Okay? So that's number one. Why do you have the other room? And what are they really for? And how are you currently using them? Well, I kind of contributed all that to the last bit of conversation. How are you currently using your rooms? Now, maybe you're doing a great job and you don't have a dump room. Maybe it's just a little messy or a lot messy, and you need to really go through it and declutter it. And maybe you're saying, Kat, if I can only hit this room once a month for 1 hour, it's going to take me 12 months to go through it, and I can't stand it another day, especially now that I'm inspired. Well, you can change your zone work to a project, and a project means you don't do any other zone work. That means no decluttering, no deep cleaning, and the other zones that I mentioned, the 4 other zones. You just go in this particular zone, and you say for 1 hour a week, every week, or I will let you max out at 2. So you could work 15 to 30 minutes a day, 4 times a week, or 1 to 2 hours on Saturday, decluttering by throwing out all the trash. And think about it. Let's say yarn. I'm a crocheter. So I know that you can easily accumulate, and I'm also a seamstress, so you can easily accumulate fabric, thread, extra stuff, buttons, zippers, bias tape, yarn, needles. You can accumulate so much of that, especially once you've done a project and you have scraps left over, and we think, oh, well, just save this because I can make a quilt, and I'm not a quilt maker, or I can make pot holders, or whatever it is. And we never do. And now we've got all these little odds and ends of yarn that we could just give away, or fabric that we could give away or throw away. If it's got a big pattern cut out of it and it's just the edges, let's just throw it away. You don't need to keep it, because if you give it to somebody else, or give it to a charity, they're going to throw it away if it's just trash. Sometimes you have to open up your eyes and say, what is trash? This is trash. It all ends up in a landfill at some point. So please be a better steward of your money when you're buying things, and make sure you don't overbuy or get inspired to buy and you don't even have a project. Like I just went to Walmart a couple of days ago, and I was looking at the embroidery, because I used to I can still embroider, but I thought, oh, it'd be nice to have some embroidered towels for the kitchen. I don't need embroidered towels for the kitchen. And it would just be one more thing. Now I live in a very tight space. I live in an RV. I don't know how many square feet it is. Under 600, I can tell you that. It's pretty big, but it's not very big. It's big enough for us. But it's a big 38-foot diesel RV with slide outs. So it's got a lot of room, but not that much room. I don't have room for crap. You know what I mean? And that's really what it comes down to. I also looked at some yarn and some needles again. Oh, I'd like to make I really don't need to make anything right now. Do you want to make something? That's fine. If it's part of your creativity and you love it, then you can buy something. But please buy within your limits, and make sure you do the thing that you purchased, and that you get rid of the scraps when you're done. Yes, you can save your needle, you can save your frame, whatever it is. in a nice area, right? And if you really are going to use that leftover yarn to make another thing and buy some more yarn that coordinates or is like that, but if it's like that, watch your dye lots because they won't match sometimes. But anyway, that's what I want you to do. I want you to think about how you're currently using that room and how you're going to clean it out to get to what you want. What needs to change to match your vision? So let's say you did your decluttering and you did it as a project. You worked 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week for 2 months, and it's totally clean and organized. Before you do a project, I tell you to have a picture of what it's going to look like at the end. That's your light at the end of the tunnel. So you think about how it looks, how you'll use it, what it's going to be for, all the details. What color do you want the walls? Are you going to have a lamp? Do you need a little couch in there? Etc. Okay, a drafting table, whatever. So what needs to change to match your vision once you have a vision? And you know right now, if you emptied it out and got it decluttered, what would need to change to match your vision? So that's important for you to know. And finally, we're only going to work on one other room at a time. So let's say you've gotten that room done, the project is over, you've purchased what you needed or you've ordered it and you're saving up to have it and you're so excited and you're keeping it vacuumed, and every time we go to zone 3 you can go in there and do a little deep cleaning for 15 minutes. But you have other zone 3 rooms like the hall bathroom and the, I don't know, the rumpus room, whatever, if it's not a living area. So you're only going to take care of one other room at a time. So let's say that you need to declutter the rumpus room. You're going to work on that for 15 minutes 4 times a week. And next month, if it's not done, you're going to finish it. And if it's not done, then you're going to go for the 3rd month until you get it finished. And then you can go to the next zone 3. If you don't have any more zone 3s or you've worked through all your zone 3s, then you're going to start deep cleaning each room, which is such a pleasure and a joy because there's no clutter. It's easy to give it a thorough vacuum. Vacuum for 15 minutes if you want to on that one day. Clean the baseboards for 15 minutes one day. Wipe the doors and the window sills and maybe the windows down for 15 minutes. Take the curtains down and wash them or have them dry cleaned or shake them out and put them back, whatever. Maybe that takes 2 15-minute days or the whole week, who knows. But work on that room deep cleaning. And then once they're all deep cleaned, then you just kind of rotate through them. I'm going to vacuum this one this time. I'm going to clean the furniture this time. I'm going to clean the fans this time. That's how you go about it. And every time you finish a zone, you keep that in the rotation. Now here's the trick. If you have decluttered a room that you were using as a dump room, it is critical, and it's always important that you do it for every place you declutter, but especially an area where the family has learned and you have learned to dump things in the case of an emergency. The lovely thing is, if you do this to your whole house, you won't have an emergency. If your mother-in-law says, I'm in the neighborhood, I'm coming over, and you've been doing this 3 times a day, it'll take you less than 2 minutes to get the house straightened up. And you won't have to dump anything. You just put it where it goes. It's called clutter stop, and it happens 3 times a day. But it is most important that you do it to the room that was your dump room. So you're going to go look at it 3 times a day. I would suggest breakfast, lunch, or when you get home from work, and before bed. With the children, if the children are part of the mess, right? If it's a toy room, for example. And you're going to put everything back where it goes. It has a place. It belongs in that place. It's organized, like things together. When you find that you've dumped something in there, oh no, my mother-in-law's coming over, and your habit is pick up everything and throw it in the room. And you take that, and now you go in there, and on the little day bed, there's a pile of stuff. Go through it and go put it back where it goes. If you are decluttering 3 times a day, and there's stuff in the living room, or in the kitchen, or wherever, you're going to put it away then, and your children are going to put it away then, and everybody's going to learn that you have a place for everything in this house, and it's going to become streamlined, and it's going to be more fun to live in, and it's going to be your castle. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy this. If you have questions, please ask me in the comments, and always remember to be beautiful because you are beautiful.